Hey, today I'm talking about 3 movies from the African country of Senegal. And the names of those 3 films are Letters from My Village, Black Girl, and Journey of the Hyena. First up is Letter from My Village. This is a 1976 film, and the basic premise is it is about this small village in Senegal and the struggle of its people, especially during the time of a drought and overtaxation. It's very much so like a slice of life film, though there is a bit of a story there too, because it is just about their struggle to exist in this barren wasteland of an existence that's happened. And it's a very beautifully told story. The filmmaker, this is her village. She explains it in narration. And it's so fascinating because just like you're seeing kind of mundane stuff happen, but it's still really gripping of just like the women tilling the fields because women grow rice. The men grow millet and groundnut. Really, this does like what really good storytelling does, is it's telling technically a very universal story, but by being very, very specific because it's literally the specific issues plaguing this small village. But I can really connect to it in this modern world that we live in of just like, you know, government should be helping us more, but they're not really. And it's like, well, how do we get by with existing when we're not getting the help that we desperately need? And just like, what do we do? How do we band together as a people to get what we need? And just like those types of struggles. And it's just, yeah, it's so good. There is also more of a specific story regarding 2 characters. There's a young man and a young woman who are in love, and they're just trying to like, they want to start a family, but they need more resources before they can, so he has to go to the city to do some stuff, and the city's really difficult. It's a whole thing. It's a really great movie. I really, really loved it. If you're gonna watch any of these 3 movies, this is the one that I would recommend, hands down. It's really, really good, beautifully told, just an all-around great film. Next up is Black Girl. This is a 1966 film that is just a blatant metaphor for colonialism, and it's fine. So the premise is this young woman gets a job for this white woman as a caretaker for her children, and whilst they're in Africa, everything goes great. It's a good job. Her life is going pretty dang well, but then the white family needs to go back to France, and she's like, ooh, going to France, that sounds fun. I'll get to do all the fun French things. But then she gets to France, and she's basically just a slave trapped in this small apartment. The children aren't even there anymore, so now she does all the other servant-y stuff, and it's terrible. And she hates life, and she's sad. I don't know. I liked this one. It was fine. I didn't super like the ending. It didn't feel like the natural progression of things, though I do understand the ending. Works for the metaphor. It just didn't super grab me. It is definitely a beautiful movie, and I understand why it's highly regarded and the need to preserve it. It's just, I don't know, it just didn't connect to me as well as Letter from My Village. I do think it's an interesting film, and if you're intrigued, I would say go for it. You have potential of liking it more than I did. It's just, you know, didn't quite work for me, and that's fine. And lastly is Journey of the Hyena. This is a 1973 film, and the basic premise is there is this young couple who really want to get out of their shitty village and have a better life in Europe. Unfortunately, they're poor and they don't have the means of doing anything, let alone leaving, so they're just trying to like hustle their way through life to get their dreams. But things don't go great because, again, they're poor. Okay, so that's the story, but what really threw me off with this movie is that the opening scene is the very brutal and very real beheading of a cow. And I'm a person who actually enjoys gory films. I like gore. It's fun. It can be very fun. But that's fake. That's pretend. This is an actual cow getting its tendons and its neck slowly torn apart with a knife, with actual blood going everywhere. I don't want to see that. I know it happens, it exists, but I don't want to actually witness a cow lose its life. There's also a goat that gets the same thing happen to it, but that's kind of more of a ritualistic thing, which I can sort of understand more. And it's also not as graphic, which is nice that they cut back to it so many times. But it's just like, yeah, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see actual things really dying. That's just not fun for me. So yeah, that put me in a bad mood going into this movie, and it didn't really get fixed by the rest of the film. I would say though, if you were to take like just the actual story bits of the young couple doing stuff and turn that into like just a 20-minute short, that would be a really good short film, because they are interesting characters who do some fun things. But just kind of everything else with the movie is not my cup of tea. So yeah, I didn't hate this movie. It's not I didn't like, but yeah, no, I don't recommend it. I was not a fan. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Letter from My Village sitting at number 21 in the really like section. And then after that is Black Girl sitting at number 36 in the liked section. And then bringing up the rear, rightfully so, is Journey of the Hyena sitting at number 43 in the meh section. And this is out of a total of 51 old movies so far this year.